Alright, welcome back for the last video for this series on creating to-do app. So what you are going to do right now is very simple. You are going to take the data we store inside our array by pushing the data from our text input into that, and then you are going to take that list of data, loop through and display it like what you see in the demo application. So let's get our hands dirty about that. Alright, in React Native, we have the recommended way of looping through data called render item. So let's head towards the documentation. Let me show you where that API is. Okay, so let me head towards to the component and then, sorry, the FlastList. It's called FlastList, right? So FlastList is a performance interface for rendering basic flat list. Alright, so we will tackle this one in the upcoming videos. So for now, let's use our friend function called map to do that. So because of that, we're going to make use of map to look through that. But I want to talk about one important component called ScrolView. Alright, so let me demonstrate for you to see. ScrolView is used when you have a piece of data that is more than your screen width, right? So let me demo for you to see. So below my my button view here, this one, let me create one view. Alright, and then in here I want to place some text, so make use of text components, and then let me put in some dummy text. Alright, so with that, let me save it. As you can see, it's nicely. Let me copy this one many times and then paste it to have overflow more than the width of my screen. As you can see, the data we have here is more than the screen size or the screen width, so you cannot even scroll down. That is why ScrolView comes into play, right? ScrolView is used when you have more data that is more than the screen width of your application. So we are going to make use of ScrolView for us to be able to scroll when we have this kind of overflow data. So let's import that as we did above here, and then let's wrap that one with this instead of view, making it called ScrolView, and I think it has been also added here at the bottom. Let me check. Good. Save it and let's see what we have. Now, as you can see, I can scroll. So as the name implies, ScrolView is used when we have overflow of data that is not that much, right? So you find a way, what is called the flat list, to do that. Okay, so on the Android, you have to make sure you have this navigation number before you can scroll. Alright, so that is why we're making use of ScrolView. So let me undo all the text inside that, and instead of this text, we are going to look through our list of data, to-do list. So here we are going to make use of to-do list by wrapping it inside my GSX and then .map. Okay, saying this one is not coming from any external API, we're going to check whether they stay there. You can make use of to-do list question mark and .map. So this one, you make sure that there's enough to-do list before we can apply the map method on it. Otherwise, it will return undefined. But because you are not making use of any synchronous calls here, let me make it like that. So here I have all the to-do item here. So let me call this one to-do, and then we're going to immediately return what? GSX, and for this I'll return my view component, and for this view component I can now display my text. So here I will inject the to-do. So with this in place, let's see what we have. As you can see, for this we have this being laid out there for us, as you can see. So on that, we need to pass in some keys to the div, otherwise React Native will complain. So like I said, this is not the recommended way of looping through, but we're going to talk about the recommended way by making use of what? Flat list. So for now, let's stick to that. Alright, so this one I make use of to-do, even though you can have multiple to-dos of the same name, but it's okay for now. right? So it has left with the styling. So let's apply some styling to this text. All right, so because of that, let's go down here and then create one CSS property called to do item here, and then let's apply CSS to that. Margin top, we have a margin on both sides to be 10. All right, if you want to know more about this properties here, let's go to the documentation, and when you scroll down under props and on the text props, we have, as you can see here on the right hand side here, we have all the CSS props applied on the text. For the shadow props and for layout props, we all have it min width, min height pattern. All right, so we have margin on both sides, top, bottom, and left and right to be 10, and the pattern on both sides to be also 20. And let me give it a background color of hash f2 f2 f2, and let me give it border radius of, let me give it what, border radius of 10, and let me give it border width of 1, and let me give it a color of the border. So here let me make it border color of, let's say, gray, right? Save it. Let's apply it to our view component, right? This one. So let's apply it to here, navigations of styles equal to styles dot to do item. Save it and let's see what we have. Perfect, as what I showed you. So let's do this one for the same thing. Apply for this one. Let me call this one read hit. Let me call this one read 2 hit with 3. Then like that, and then let me have more data so I can scroll down for you to see on the screen. As you can see here, difficult for me to scroll on the Android, yeah, so let me use the iOS, and then because I have multiple keys, that's why I have this error, this warning to do with the same, what am I doing? Alright, so let me hit enter and then let me add more, and as you can see I can now scroll. So for this we can scroll, but I have to make sure I carefully the scroll bar here is not visible yet, but that is how it works. Alright, so guys, that is how we make use of 4 or 3 components to create this simple application of To Do. So in the next video we are going to create another project called news list. But for that one, we are going to make use of HTTP calls, right? HTTP call, and then we fetch it and display it inside a component. So we learned a lot. So first, you will tackle styling, and then you move on to the upcoming videos as well. So thanks for watching.